There is one summer skincare mistake that I see clients make constantly, and it can be the source of such sunburn and such discomfort and hyperpigmentation and all sorts of problems down the road. What mistake is that? Stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Christine Byer here, licensed esthetician for 22 years. And on this channel, we talk about your skincare journey because it's never one thing that makes your face look better. It's a whole combination of things and ideas and what to do and what not to do. It's a journey. This month, we are talking about how to take care of your skin in the summer and some of the things that need to change up. So we've talked about hydrating masks and continuing exfoliation, or exfoliating mostly where you need it. So if you get the summer bumpies, you can exfoliate more through your T-zone. But there's one thing that I tell people to scale back on in the summer, and a lot of people don't know this, but vitamin A, retinols, vitamin A derivatives, they thin out the epidermis while thickening the dermis. And so what happens? That makes our skin super sensitive to the sun. In the summer months, we still want repair, right? But if we are slathering on this retin A that our skin just barely tolerates on the regular, and then we go out in the sun, it's a mess. I've seen people get really hyperpigmented, get all sorts of sun damage. And the worst case scenario is that you would go out in the sun, like my niece did, where she was on, I think she was on Epiduo, because they're different, or Epiduo. And her doctor did not tell her that she needed to go off of that solid a week. 2 weeks is probably better if you're on a more powerful one, but at least a week before a very sunny vacation, or skiing even, you want to go off of your retinol, your retinoid, your vitamin A derivative, because it strips away a bit of natural protection that we have to the sun. And so all those problems you're working on, specifically hyperpigmentation, it can actually make worse. So what happened to my niece was she went out in full South Florida sun. She turned into a lobster. She was completely red. She got blisters. I mean, she got sun poisoning, essentially. Her face blistered up, and by the time I saw her here in my treatment room, she was just a mess. I couldn't even do like a cleanse to her. So she was like, ow, ow, ow. She had scabs. She was looking bad. And I was like, what happened? I was talking to my sister, and she's like, well, she was doing her whole routine. We don't know what happened. I said, well, was she doing her vitamin A? And she's like, yeah, she was on it until like the last day we left, and hasn't used it since because she thought it would hurt. And I'm like, well, that's a good idea. If you have super sensitive skin, stop any forms of vitamin A 2 weeks before that sunny summer vacation, if not at least a week before. When I was working on her, I just cleansed her skin with water. She did come in with a clean face anyway. And I just put her underneath LED, dry face underneath LED, half hour. And then this is before I had my Illuminate, really, really high powered LED, put her under there for half an hour. And I talked to her like the next day and the days after that, and she just got progressively better because LED adds energy to the skin. It's gonna make the skin a really good dose of LED. It's gonna make the skin increase cellular turnover by 5 to 7 times. It puts that sunburn recovery, sunburn repair into overdrive. It works really fast. And so she started to get a lot of relief very soon. I mean, she had blisters. I mean, it was a mess, crusty. I was just like, I saw it, I was like, what happened? My goodness. So yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke. The Differin, especially the acne, the Epiduo, those type of vitamin A derivatives that they put in acne medications, they are intense, and they are going to thin that epidermis out. And that's why they're so good at helping rid the skin of acne, because they're going to keep those sebaceous glands clean. But it's also exfoliating off that epidermis. That's why the sun just goes attack mode. You know, even with sunscreen, it's not a good idea. So that is the one thing I want you to use less of. Now, you do have to stop for the summer No, you can use it once a week. And this is gentle enough. Most people have no problem acclimating to this at all. And so I will do this just once a week in the summer, and I'll do it like on Monday in case I'm going to be in the sun on the weekend. So I'll do it on Monday, which is the farthest day away from the time I'll be in the sun, and just make sure I put a ton of sunscreen on and a hat and all the stuff that I do before I go in the sun. But yeah, you really want to taper that, and then you can ramp it back up come September when all the public pools are closed and the public beaches, you know, if you're up here in the north, they start to close. In September, you can go into repair mode and go back to your regular retinol routine. But in the summer, really scale it back. Just my opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye now.